to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with with your readings for, what is it, October the 14th through October the 20th. And thank you guys. Thank you for all the likes, shares, comments, and the new subscribers. If you're returning, thank you so much for your loyalty and support of this channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope you love these readings, or like them at least, and that you will come back. Now, these are general readings, guys, and they are for the collective. So keep in mind that sometimes Spirit needs to give a specific message to someone. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And if you would like a more personalized, tailored reading, you may click on this link here or go to my website. All the links will be below. This is for your sun, moon, and rising too. So those links will be in the show more section below too. I have a Facebook group and I do a live stream in that Facebook group every 2 weeks. I'm a little late on it. I'm hoping to be able to do one tomorrow, Sunday. I'm hoping that some of you get this in time. I have been extremely busy this week, kind of organizing and getting everything ready, and I've been doing some reading, so I'm very grateful. Thank you. Now, what else? Another way to support me, guys, is through Patreon, and click on that link for it or look for it below. Check it out anywhere. I usually post things there that I don't post anywhere else, although I've been really laxy-daisy on my posts this week because things have been like, I've got to get stuff sorted. Anyway, lastly, these readings come in 3 sections, guys. This, the intro, and I'll put a skip time to this if you're checking out your sun, moon, and rising below. Then there is the astrological report, and I'll put another skip time if you're checking out your sun, moon, and rising. And then the tarot reading, the tarot card reading. So without further ado, let's go to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to Live in the Solution. This is your astrology report for the week of October the 14th through the 20th. There's not a lot going on. On Monday the 14th, the sun is square to Pluto, right? Well, that's kind of been happening anyway, particularly over the full moon on Sunday. It's forming a T-square, and that's, if you want to check out last week's, check out, because I talked about that last week. So the sun square Pluto, right? The sun is the life force. It's, you know, the light, it's energy, it's joy, right? And Pluto is darkness and deep, and and from the underworld, right? So it's like, this is like dark versus light, right? Good versus evil. We're going to have kind of a tumultuous time with this. Like sometimes it's like, oh, so much stuff is happening and, you know, you can't cope. And then something wonderful pops up. We're still feeling this beautiful sextile between the sun and Jupiter. So we're still feeling that. We'll be feeling that for most of the week. So that's really nice. You know, bursts of abundance are coming in. So it's lovely to feel that. Now, so let me give you an example of how Pluto square the sun is for me. Like, I've been really deeply organizing and getting rid of all my old paperwork, you know, taxes from years and years. So shredding and sorting. And the more you sort, the worse your place gets. And I had some help, so it was lovely. And so that was really lovely. Honestly, that was amazing to have someone help me. So then that starts like, oh, let me move this around, let me move that around. Then I'm going through photographs and I'm crying because I'm seeing my mom and my brother and reading cards that he'd sent me. And then, you know, and then in the middle of that, somebody contacts me for a reading, or so it's very, you know, opposing forces, if you will, are coming in and out. But it's almost like you feel the appreciation more with it. So, squares are motivating. So it kind of gets you up. Listen, you can be optimistic, but there's no point. Optimism without action is futile, right? It's foolhardy. So it's important to be optimistic, but it's important for our actions to match that optimism. We have to kind of get up and do something. And no matter what we're doing, it's shaking up the energy, right? It's like quantum physics, it's shaking it up so something good comes in. Now, on Wednesday, Mercury is in this beautiful relationship with Neptune, right? It's a trine. It's gorgeous. So you've got this, Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, writing, publishing, right? And Neptune is this creative, ethereal, spiritual planet, but it can also have a negative effect. But because this is a trine, it's going to bring out its best qualities, right? So it's very good to meditate. It's very good to write, anything creative, visual arts. It's a brilliant time to do that. And what's really beautiful about this trine is that at the same time, Saturn is sextiling both Mercury and Neptune. So Saturn's bringing in structure, because Neptune can take you on a journey in your head, and you're like, before you know it, you start thinking about something, and then before you know it, 3 hours have gone by, and it's like, oh my God, I got to do all this. That was me today. But with Saturn at play, there's some structure there. Saturn's like, come on, get it together. That's great. You're having those fabulous, incredible, creative ideas. Yeah, come on, let's get some action in there. Let's do it. Come back to the ground and start doing what you're supposed to do. So it's not. There's not loads of things going on in the celestial sky this week, but I think really beautiful things. And we're feeling the full moon for this week too. For most of the week, we're going to feel that. And so it's great, darling. It's not too heavy, and it's just beautiful. So I wish you a wonderful, abundant week and filled with action and positivity. And let's go to the tarot card reading, shall we? Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to the tarot card section of your reading for October the 14th through October the 20th. And I'm wearing my brother Michael's fez hat. He recently passed away, and he had this fez hat for, I don't know, decades. So I'm wearing it in his honor. I'm channeling my brother Michael, by the way. And guys, I really want to thank you for all the views and likes. Guys, you are becoming my #1 viewers for all those views and likes and comments. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Let's keep up the good work, shall we? This is for Scorpio. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio for the week of October the 14th through the 20th? 3 cards. Oh, there's 2 already. 1 more card for Scorpio. There's the other one. Okay. Now we have the clarifying cards for Scorpio. I've already shuffled them. 1 more shuffle for Scorpio. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio through these clarifying cards for the week of October the 14th through the 20th? Okay, please clarify. Oh, there's one. Please clarify. There it is. And please clarify. Oh, fabulous. Okay, here we go. Oh, c'est bon. Okay, let's look at your card, shall we? Okay, the first card out for you is the Hanging Man, clarified by the Knight of Cups. Then you have the 8 of Pentacles, clarified by the Nine of Cups. And then you have the Five of Pentacles clarified by the King of Swords. And let's go to your first card is the Hanging Man. Look, the Hanging Man is like, he's like hanging there like a yoga pose, right? He's got this, he's kind of looking at something from a different point of view. And he's just, it's not like somebody put him there. He's decided to do this. It's an exercise. I'm sorry for all that noise out there. I don't know what's going on. He's the number 12. So 1 and 2 goes to 3, right? So 3 is expanding your mind. 3 is expansion. Expand your mind and look at a situation from a different point of view. It's not, you know, sometimes we kind of get stuck and fixed in one kind of way of looking at something, or, you know, we have this judgment that we've made. And this is a time to open up and take a look at this from a different point of view through loving eyes. You have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups comes in. It's the gift of love. So, you know, the Knights are all about moving forward. So this is about, you see, what's really interesting, I've just got this, right? Because the Hanging Man is about a pause in action. And the Knight of Cups is about action. So it kind of reminds me of Pluto, right? Because Pluto and the Sun are square right now. So it's a challenging, you know, aspect. It's a motivational aspect, if you will. So it can, you know, Pluto's going to dig stuff up and the Sun's going to shine a light on it, and you've got to deal with it. So, but in a way, so sometimes we don't want to deal with what Pluto drags up, because he drags the stuff up way, way deep from deep down below, and he's bringing it out into the light. And it's like, oh, sometimes it's hard to look at, right? But it's a time to take a look at this in a different way. It's a time to kind of clean up, right? It's like, bring that dirt, bring it on, baby. Bring that dirt up. Let me deal with it. Let me get to it, because the feeling of handling stuff that you've kind of buried, right, deep down, is so gratifying, and it's so exhilarating, and it is emancipating. Pluto has, you know, effect. Now, the Knight of Cups is also, so when I say Pluto from the dark, and the Sun is the light, so it's those opposing forces that you're dealing with, and it's like when they're working backwards and forwards, and they're challenging each other, right? We have to find a way to handle it, and that's what we are here to do. And the Knight, as I say, is also intuition and psychic ability. So take a look at this situation with fresh eyes and say, you know what? I got to deal with it, right? It's like doing your taxes. You don't want to do it. You don't want to go into, you know, the thought of doing it sometimes is a nightmare, but when you do it, you feel great and it's done. Now, the next card you have is the Eight of Pentacles. So he's learning everything he can. He's you know, it can be working under someone. It's about focusing. It's about becoming an expert, is what it is. It's focusing on what you are meant to do. I'm just checking to make sure I'm not going to make the same mistake as last week. I want to make sure that my mic is up. Yes, it is. So this is about focusing on your artistry. It's about learning everything you can about your craft, or perhaps you're going to embark on something new, because this can mean literally going back to school, or a course of study that you might take up. Now, clarifying it is the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is when, look, he's kind of sitting there, he's displaying his wealth, he's feeling really good about what he has and what he's accomplished. And he's sitting pretty in front of all his wealth, right? But he's number 9. He hasn't quite got there. He's almost there. He's feeling abundant. So sometimes when we feel abundant, we can be a little complacent and kind of coast, and this is not the time to coast. So, he's sitting pretty, he's looking at all his wealth, he's showing what he has, he's feeling proud, he's feeling great about his accomplishments, but it's on number 9, right? It's almost at the finish line. It's not quite there. And sometimes when we get to that point, we can be like complacent. And he's got his arms crossed, right? It's kind of almost like he's not open to hearing anything or trying something new. And this is saying that you need to become the master. So it's not a time to sit down and coast and I'm really getting action. Take action. Whatever that action is for you. Perhaps look for another stream of income. Perhaps look for a new kind of client that's going to be, I'm really getting take some action in terms of what you do for a living. It's changing something, but learning. Perhaps it's kind of, it's not about changing your career per se, but it's perhaps kind of tweaking it and going in a different direction. Perhaps learning it could be, say, if you're working in an office, it could be kind of learning a new software, something like that. If you're self-employed or you have your own business, it's about branching out to a different kind of demographic maybe, or, looking at another kind of, job or something in that area. It's about really studying something to expand your horizons. And the next card out you've got is the 5 of Pentacles. So I kind of think that you are, you're feeling some kind of fear about moving forward. And this is a card of deprivation, right? Now, it can be deprivation of love. It can be deprivation of, material wealth. It can be, this is looking at your glass half empty as opposed to half full. And this is a karmic time for all of us because Pluto's around, right? That Pluto's all about karma. And clarifying this is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is about, he's the champion for justice, like a judge, he's an extremely incredible leader. He's very intelligent. He wants the best for everyone. He's the seeker of truth. And so he's going to, he's going to put structure and rules in place, and he expects everyone to adhere to those rules. And I'm just getting that, that anything is possible. You've got to put structure and rules in place is what you've got to do. So something is, you're not quite happy with what's going on. You're feeling kind of deprived. Now, first of all, the antidote for deprivation is gratitude. So it's about looking around and being really excited and grateful for what is there. And then you've got to kind of put some structure. So you see, he's sitting pretty and he's got his arms folded and he's, he feels like he's made it, but he's not quite there, right? Because he's number 9. He hasn't quite got there. So this is about looking at this situation from a different perspective, right? With the Hanging Man. And it is about coming in with new ideas and learning a different kind of way of doing things. There's success here for you when you structure and put rules and models in place for you to move forward. It's about putting a system in place almost. So it's rearranging, if you're self-employed, it's rearranging your calendar and the way you do things, or, prioritizing clients and things like that. It's definitely restructuring everything. So it's looking at your career and your life in a very different way. And I feel that you're going to know that intuitively, what needs to be worked on, and what you can keep and what you can leave. But really, honestly, take some time and contemplate what areas of your life can change. Scorpio, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it on social media, friends, family, neighbors, co-workers. Comment. I am here to interact with you guys. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.